In this video, we're going to create a new deal list on the 4Degrees platform. While we'll be creating a new deal list from scratch in this video, note that the same strategies can be used for importing a deal list or editing an existing deal list. On the 4Degrees platform, teams share deal lists. We can see our 4 deal lists up here in the upper left-hand corner. Common use cases include tracking potential investment opportunities, tracking fundraising efforts, or tracking existing portfolio investments. Let's go ahead and create a new deal list. This is done in the upper right-hand corner by clicking on the 3 dots here and then clicking Create New List. We have the option of creating a list from one of our existing lists using it as a template, and here are our 4 existing lists, or we can create a list from scratch. Let's go ahead and do that by clicking Create List. This brings us to the Edit List page. The first thing we'll do is give our list a name. The scenario we'll be using here today is potential Series A investments. So this list will represent companies that have had their seed round, and we may be interested in investing in them in the future. We'll choose the record type. In this case, it's companies because we're interested in investing in companies, but note that we can track contacts as individuals or both companies and contacts. Each of these rows represents what will be a column in our deal list table. Up front, we recommend a bunch of rows to be included. However, we can toggle these on or off. In this case, let's say our fund is location agnostic, so we don't really care about location, and we'll go ahead and turn that off. We'll keep everything else. There are a few additional fields that we're personally interested in tracking, and we can create those with the Add Field button. We have multiple different options of what kind of field this is going to be. It could be a date, a number, a percentage, or so on. There are also auto-populated fields, and this will bring in information from Crunchbase about a particular company. Since these are companies that we might invest in their Series A round, let's keep track of who the investors are in the prior round, and we'll give this field a name. And let's also keep track of a few more things. Let's keep track of their total funding. We can call that total funding. And let's keep track of their last funding round amount. And note, the names don't have to be the same. So we'll just call this last raise. A very interesting field is the formula field. We can take other numeric fields and automatically calculate. So let's say an internal metric that we use is the last raise divided by the total funding. We can create that as a field and it'll automatically populate. And let's call that ratio. Finally, let's say we use internally just a number to track how interested we are in a specific deal. Let's create that and call it interest level. This all looks very good. However, let's say our interest level field is something very important to us when making investment decisions. So we're going to move that to the top or near the top. Otherwise, everything looks good. So let's go ahead and save the list. This is going to create the list for us. We can see we now have Series A up here as a new list, and it's empty because we haven't added any potential deals to it. So let's go ahead and add a deal. Here's a company we may be interested in. Let's add it to the list, and the deal is created. Note that it belongs to the Series A list, and let's see what happens when we go back. Here's our Series A list. There's the company. Here's our interest level field that we created. Here's the existing investors, the total funding, the last raise, and the ratio between the two. Let's label our interest level, say it's very high. And there we have it. If we want to go back and change anything about this deal list, we go up here to the Edit Fields and go through the same process. We can re-enable location, add fields, delete fields with the bucket sign, or really anything else. This wraps up our demonstration of the deal list.